Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. After a very exciting semifinals where we had Nidaros Esports, the underdogs, just fall off short to Recken Rockets, we will have the grand finals underway in a short time. I am Vino, joined in the casting booth with Psycho yet again, and wow, your prediction was correct.
Somehow, yes, it was. The Reckon Rockets dominated, it must be said, Nidaros in those last two games, but it was a thriller because Nidaros came out the gate so quickly as well in that previous semi-finals. But moving on to the grand finals, we have something equally spicy. The underdogs in Sanctuary DC. On paper, the Sanctuary B team have made it all the way to the grand finals.
Where they put two teams into this week. That was 2 weeks in three. Oh dear, I should probably stop talking about this tournament, but let's go over to who are the players for the two teams that we're going to see in this current grand finals of this fifth weekly by Doink.gg. And wow, to be honest though, I did not expect to see this grand final. Sanctuary DC. Let's let's just appreciate them for being, who they are. They just played absolutely amazingly. Psycho, take us through.
Yeah, so this Sanctuary roster is comprised of Charm, Jaya, and Serve, and you might know some of these players from their history in the bubble scene as well, and also the likes of something like ECC, IEL, RSC as well. I'm sure these players have been floating around in those sorts of local scenes because that's where I have come to know some of these players. I also know Jaya as an incredibly mechanical player who's gone on to lots of clip hitting teams in the past as well, so hopefully he can deliver some spicy goals for us today as well. But just to briefly dance through their run as well. They beat Capybara Inc., which was one of the finest teams in today's competition. Squixel, Hazo, and Monkey Aero. Three players which everyone is sure to know if they're in touch with the bubble scene lately. The Lost Souls team previously as well. And also moving forward past that, they beat Donkey Punch 2-1 as well. Colme Apina, if I'm saying that correctly. Definitely not. Don't leave me to that. And Ascent, which is, of course, the Swedish trio, Meaty, Simoon, and Led. Definitely a strong team as well. So full props to Sanctuary.
Yeah, and of course, well, the grand finals. I was expecting Nidaros Esports to be here. You know, the underdogs making a beautiful story, but hey, at least they ended up in the semifinals. Top four is not a bad finish for them. And, they've shown their worth. They played against one of the strongest teams already here in Doink.gg. And, well, to say the least, we hope to see them next week as well, because I want to see them in the grand finals. They have so much potential. But other than that, for this week, we have, again, Sanctuary DC up against Recken Rocket. Let's go through predictions then. Who do you think would be the winner, the one who grabs that 150 euro prize pool?
Well, I'm going to have to be completely painstakingly honest with you, Vino. I think Reckon Rockets are going to be the team to get it done, and that is exclusively due to their experience in this sort of domain, this sort of play. A grand finals is obviously a lot of pressure, and I simply think this Sanctuary DC is dwarfed in comparison when it comes to their level of experience, and I think that could potentially be what causes the result on the day. So my money is on Reckon Rockets.
Oh, you believe Reckon Rockets are going to be the winners after seeing that last previous semifinals? Reckon Rockets obviously taking the win over Nidaros Esport, and then if we go over to Sanctuary DC, they were the ones who swept Ascends, of one of the strongest, or not strongest, but one of the stronger teams to have attended this weekly. Of course, we've also seen multiple other teams. Ascends have been a regular here in Doink. But to see them beat and sweep a team like Ascends, Meaty, I believe, is the Swedish national player. I have my money. Again, I'm going against you, Psycho. I have my money on Sanctuary DC. Please do not disappoint me, just like semifinals, man. Oh my days. My predictions lately has been going wrong, so I hope it takes a turn. But a little friendly note to all of you at home. it is going to be a best of 5 in this grand finals. It's not a best of 3. It's going all the way. So we have more action to fulfill.
Absolutely so, and an extra spicy part to this whole competition is the prize pool at stake as well. And usually I'll be saying, well, even if one of these two teams loses, it's not the end of the day. They walk away with blah, blah, blah amount of cash. But no, not here on the Doink Weekly. We like to get stuff done the proper way. The whole 150 euros is going to be distributed straight to our winners in this competition. So if you thought there weren't many stakes on the line, I'd definitely wipe that thought out of your brain.
I'm sorry to mention to you, Psycho, but I really hope we see your signature move here in the grand finals. But other than that, are they ready is the question. Because
Well,
I personally want to see some more Rocket League action after seeing the semifinals, man.
I certainly do as well, and I'm not looking to be I'm not looking to be seeing anything which involves my name in this series. This is a grand final, guys. I want you to keep your head together, all right? And that usually involves not doing that. So, you best be listening to me.
There we go. I was about to mention Sanctuary seemed to have fallen asleep, but no, they just wake up in time, and now into the field. We will let these two teams go at it in this arena. It is the grand finals of the Doink.GG Weekly 5, and kickoff is on the way.
Certainly so, and it's another underdog story that I'm sure many fans are going to be rooting for today. This team in blue, Sanctuary DC, had such low expectations placed on them for today, and yet they are here now in the grand finals, proving everyone wrong on the day, apart from me, who thought Sanctuary DC was actually stronger than the A team. But I'm not going to create any more controversy, as Sanctuary DC have done well to break out of their own defense. Potentially an infield pass opportunity for Jaya as well. A nice touch from Charm infield, but Sire's done well to put it back into his own corner.
The transition is there by Scream, looking for a double touch, but Charm was there on the back for just denying it from going any further. Zero can't do much with the ball, leaves it for Sai. As Serve now on the transition, waits for Zero's touch. That's a bit too far behind him, leaves it for one of his teammates as Jaya now into the middle. No one was there. Scream now looking to force it through, can get it through Charm, but not any further. Serve now onto the other corner, gets a bump on Zero. A pass out from Charm into the middle, and a miss from Zero. That is not common to see.
Maybe not so, but Charm has just thrown possession straight back to this team in orange, who have done well to break out of their defense. A double touch into an infield pass, blocked away by this blue defense, and Charm now wrapping around the corner has forced a 50 on one player, but it's rolled infield dangerously for a shot to come firing loose. And Zedo now, not much boost to his name, is just going to let this one drop off. Jaya trying to rinse out of the corner, but Scream just putting it right back where it once belonged.
So he finds Charm on the upfield, gets a pass back, nearly forces it through. A beautiful shot, but it was a bit too wide. And another one by Scream, saved by Charm this time around. Serve on the transition, looking for a teammate in the middle. Jair is there, it does get forced through. A small touch from the defender, but it was not good enough to keep it away.
The great infield pass as well from Serve, and the shot struck true, albeit with a little glancing hit. A deflection off of that Recken Rockets' last defender. And for Sanctuary, they are certainly going to be getting a little bit excited now, as putting the first goal on the board is certainly an important thing when it comes to sustaining your confidence. And Serve now up quickly to block that shot from Jaya. Charm. A little whiff there is going to give an open opportunity. Sai has pushed it wide though, and Zedo with no boost cannot sustain this offense.
A shot out from Sai into the side for Zero, but just gets instantly denied by Yair. Nearly forces it through, but Serve was there ready to just force it through. That was just jumping in the middle. Look at this ball. Boop. Teases Sai in the good net. That is just a bit too cruel.
It's a little bit harsh, it must be said, for Recken Rockets, who were pretty much an inch away from getting that one clear, but Sanctuary had done all the work they needed to get that in the back of the net, and that's what matters at the end of the day. And a 50-50 between Scream and Jaya is going to Almost give something loose for Charm to pounce on a demo on the back lines, but such a weak touch from Sai, who can't push it into the offensive area. Right now, we are back where most of the game has been played out in this blue corner, but Sanctuary DC, their structure looks sharp. They look as if they're always in the right position to deal with the threats.
Oh, and nearly an opportunity opened up for Recken Rockets there, but just cleared away from Sanctuary DC. Zero, a pass into the middle, Chum was there and cuts it short. Scream now, finds Sai upfield, drops it down, but no one was there to follow it up. Jair now takes control over the ball, flip reset, does he get it? No, but gets a little bit of help by Scream to force it through. A 3-0 lead for Sanctuary DC.
Absolutely, and very much assisted by Scream as well, but Jaya has done well to put a shot that actually tests the defender, albeit just wide of the target. But for Sanctuary DC, it's now gone from, well, a little bit of excitement to elation in this game number 1. And, well, we've seen Recken Rockets being able to make such a convincing comeback in terms of how they approached the game in matches after they've been defeated, courtesy of that previous best of 3, where Recken Rockets, they looked down and out in that first game to the team in Nidaros Esports. And moving forward into this series, I very much wouldn't be surprised if we see that same bounce back effect.
Jair just gets bombed on the offense. Serve now forced to make a play, puts it onto Sai, gets a bump on him as well. Zero, dangerous pass into the middle. Sai forced to try to clear it, can't get a good enough touch. Jair punishes the team for making so many mistakes under such a short amount of time.
Absolutely, and it's absolutely finished for this Recken Rockets team. There is no hope in getting anything back from this last minute of play. The only thing they can do is try and bring back their confidence levels to what we saw in the latter stages of that semi-final matchup. And Jaya is putting a good performance in this game number 1 when it comes to his offensive opportunities, and also this whole Sanctuary team, more importantly, has done so well to really just completely negate all of the opportunities that Recken Rockets have had. There's maybe been 2 or 3 shots which have just about, well, tested the defense, but it's always held true, and as does the crossbar, it seems, Vino.
The crossbar is actually just an enemy for the Recken Rockets team currently. First of all, that bounce down at their, half earlier, which led into a goal, and now an opportunity that opened up for them, just denied by yours truly, the crossbar. But so far, it's looking like Sanctuary DC will take this first game 4-0 unless Recken Rockets does something, kneeling home goal there as well to celebrate maybe. But hey, at the end of the day, the trees are up high.
Absolutely, and you know what? An own goal, I'm not sure that would have added much to the celebrations. It would have been like a half a second serotonin boost, but for Recken Rockets, they have looked so down and out in this first game, and it's such an impressive display from Sanctuary DC, which is a roster that I've been watching in its completion for the first ever time today. I've of course seen Jaya and Serve play a lot individually. Charm is a player I've never had the pleasure of watching before, and today he's putting on a good performance as well.
I mean, everyone's just been playing absolutely, up to play. Apart from those mistakes that Recken Rockets did, the own goal, the passing into the middle. Something that I'm very interested to see is how they will change their game style, their play, just everything about what they do, because that's what they did in the semifinals. They, took the first game to learn, okay, how does our opponents play, and just absolutely found a loophole, and well, the rest is history. So let's see if it repeats itself. Game number 2 about to be on the way.
Absolutely, and we're looking to see some of that return to form from Recken Rockets, and Sanctuary DC. All they can do is, jump back into the next lobby, perhaps.
We will be remaking Charm was kicked from the game.
Poor Charm.
Poor Charm.
It's an unfortunate time, isn't it, for the poor lad?
Yeah, it truly is. I mean, like, they they've had so many opportunities. Like I've seen them go for so many plays with flip resets, haven't gotten the chance to force one through. You know, the only one that was forced through was because of an own goal. But let's not speak about that.
Yeah, and for Reckon Rockets, it's exactly as you said during that short break as well. It's about trying to find that mojo, find that rhythm, find that difference in play style to get them comfortable again in this series, which so far has gone very much out of their hands. And for Sanctuary DC, all they need to do is keep the rhythm going. They need to limit the amount of risk they're applying, because in defense, that's doing them wonders. But in offense, those sparks of creativity, those infield passes, those flip resets, everything that they have relied on to make their offense magical still needs to be there if they're going to have any shot at testing Reckon Rockets for the remainder of this series.
Finally, then, ladies and gentlemen, game number 2 underway, and the kickoff goes in the favor of Charm, but straightly just sent away. JR now looking for some boost to work with, can't really find any, but the ball is currently in the orange half. Gets declined by Zero, but Serve now looking to apply some pressure. Zero, no boost to work with. That's a pass into JR. Really force it through. No! Can't find the double touch, but Charm now on the attack. Scream will get the save. Another pass out from Charm to the middle. Serve can't make it in time. Scream up into the backboard. That's a beautiful pass into the middle. A demo comes out from Serve. The ball so far very dangerous in front of the orange net.
Absolutely, and Scream's done so well to dance past 2 players from his back lines, and he's lunging out for a secondary 50-50 in the opposing corner as well. But for this blue team, they are once again positioned well enough to see that opportunity by, and Serve now trying to create something. Whizzes past one defender. Zedo on the back lines is going to claw it back to himself. 100 boost is not going to be grabbed by him in the corner, but he's going to continue his advance forwards with a flick towards Serve, and cleared away by this blue side.
Scream now looking to pass it to side into the middle. Zedo was looking for a shot a bit too wide, as JR now on the transition gets cut short by Scream, but Serve now sends one up high. Can't find JR. Charm now does the exact same. Can't really get a good pass out to the middle, as Sina looking to pass, gets cut short. Serve with a shot. Is that on target? Yes, it is. Zedo with no boost. Just had to watch it go in.
Absolutely, and that's all he could do was Serve with a fantastic shot towards the opposing net, and Zedo just couldn't track back in time to get the job done. And for Reckon Rockets in that first game, we saw their struggles, and into game 2, trailing by 1 goal to a team that perhaps they had already chalked out in their minds as one that would be an easy task. It's anything but that.
Anything but that indeed. Currently the ball just going back and forth, but now Charm does find a brilliant clear. Scream with a very good save, just puts it off his own pose. Is that good enough to keep it away? Yes, it is, just for now. Zero just keeps it in the corner. Scream now looking to do the same, but does get it over. Charm, JR does turn for the ball now though. Keeps it in the middle, but Zero with a beautiful clear, open things up for his team. Allows them to breathe for a slight moment. The ball ever so slightly creeping into the blue corner. Nearly gets put away, but Serve with the save keeps them away from a murder.
Oh, and Jaya with a little flimsy whiff there is going to let Charm fill in for good measure. And Jaya, once again, with a high 50-50. Sai now is going to try and catch a reset and do something with it, but there's absolutely nothing he can do. The defense is in shambles. There's nobody following Sai at the back lines, and it's an easy piece of pickings for Sanctuary.
So, what a beautiful lunge by him from their own half. Just sends it straight all the way to the orange half. Orange net even. 2-0 up now. Never mind, I spoke too soon. 2-1. A Scream straight off the kickoff just makes me shut up.
Yeah, he shut you up nice and quickly, that's for sure. It was about half a second after that kickoff and the opportunity was presented. Scream, well, almost fortuitously found that space, and the kickoff went very much in favour of Reckon Rockets there, but it's certainly something that will not or should not be repeated, as it's such an unlikely affair that kickoffs work out in that manner. So for Reckon Rockets, they need something more to give, and they simply haven't shown that so far, as Jaya is going to continue the hunt to push their advantage further. Jaya lofting out the last defender like a well, just put him in a wheelbarrow and shoved him out the front door, and Jaya, trying to reach something on the sidewalk, cannot clamber up quite in time.
That's a shot on target. Serve does get the save, but the ball is back into the middle. That's a drop down by Scream, and it is going to be equalized.
And it's an absolute ripper as well from Scream, who has well and truly lived up to his name and screamed at home. 115 kilometers per hour. There is nothing that final defender in blue could do. And I asked for Recken Rockets to give us something, some reason to believe in them after that kickoff goal, and they've done it just then.
The pressure is back on the orange half. The physical plays are coming out. JR looking for a ceiling shot. Can't get it. Charm can't finish it, but Serve is there as a third man. Make sure they get the goal in.
And it's all Jaya there. Charm, I must say, he had about 70% of an open net to aim for, and the rest of his screen was the left-hand side where the keeper was. Ploughed it over in that direction against all odds, and the third player did so well to wrap in there. But Jaya, a little bit of creativity once again, has given more life to this team in blue, and all they need to do is hold on for 1 minute and a little bit as Jaya wraps it around to the side. No boost to his name, trying to threaten this oncoming offense. Sai has been gifted an open net off the back of a disruptive bump on the back lines, and Recken Rockets straight into the equation.
Serve just could not do much there. Had to watch the ball just get snuck by him as he was just brutally abused in the back lines. 3-3 with 1 minute and 9 to go. Chomp can't get it by Zero as the pressure is building up from the orange side. JR looking for Charm in the middle, does fine, but that is not a good pass at all. The ball still in the corner, the blue corner, looking for a net. It is there. Sai will just drop it in with less than 1 minute left on the clock. They are now in the back foot.
Yeah, and it's been such a change of pace as well. Recken Rockets have managed to get back into this series so quickly after Sanctuary once again pushed the advantage to make it 3-2 almost a minute ago. Now it's 3-4, and Charm on the wall is going to have to try and create something in field towards Jaya, dropping it down to Serve. A fantastic shot as well, blocked by the defense, and Charm now off to the backboard, a whiff from the back lines. Jaya, it's beautiful from the man himself, but he can't quite squeeze it in, and Serve now wrapping back around, but Scream certainly there to bail out his team.
Less than 1 minute to go, over half a minute, sorry, as the ball now ever so slightly goes back into the orange half. So look to just pre-jump him, a beautiful touch but not in. Charm can't get the block on Zero. 10 seconds to go. JR keeping it alive, sends it into the middle. That's just a slight touch to the side, looking for a double touch. Serve was on the backboard, that might drop down. Zero looking for another shot. Is that in? No, Charm keeps it off. It's still alive, but no one is there to keep it up anymore. Recken Rockets grabs game number 2 in just a matter of moments.
Yeah, and as I said, they did so well to work their way back into that game. And you know what, Sanctuary, I still thought they put in a very, very convincing performance. I think the only things that went wrong for them towards the tail end of that game were a couple whiffs on the back line off the backboard and such. And unfortunately for them, it's really come back to haunt them. Serve had a very strong game himself, 3 goals to his name, 2 saves, 6 shots. He had all the statistics in his favour, and he was very much pushing the agenda for the Sanctuary team in offence. And also Jaya, towards those dying seconds, he delayed that area as he saw the whiff come out from the opposition, almost worked home a 4th in those dying seconds. But Recken Rockets, it was a story, it was a transformation for them after that kickoff goal was put away. They had all the momentum in their favour, and they got the necessary job done.
Oh, game number 3 will be interesting to see how these 2 teams will switch it up. Then Recken Rockets realized that what they were doing wrong, but also realized the flaws of Sanctuary DC, ending up in a victory for them. Utopia Coliseum right around the corner, ladies and gentlemen. It is all tied again in the series score, 1-1, with 2 more to go for the winner. And of course, a very long evening still up ahead.
Absolutely, and these players, just to remind you all, have been, well, playing for a very long time. It's been a long tournament. 40 teams have been in this bracket today, and it's been a best of 3 up until this point. So, well, then certainly not showing any signs of fatigue, it must be said, just yet, as it seems these teams are still very much warming up into how they get stuff done well. And Sai is somewhat of just edged a ball underneath two defenders there. I'm going to have to look from his point of view to see what's happened there. Zedo, well, it's a gorgeous touch off the ceiling, it must be said, but just a force to be reckoned with, that 50-50.
That is just... well, there's no words to describe it. Just got it past both defenders for, you know, for nothing of it. Just forced it through, grabbed the goal, and just, oh, okay, we're in the lead. Let's just go for more.
Yeah, and they're certainly hoping that that's going to be the tale of this game. You know, we put one away. That's good. Let's just try and get some more on the board. And for Recken Rockets, it's been a very casual start for them, as a goal has pretty much spawned from thin air with a magical 50-50 in the offensive zones. And Sai,
Oh my.
he's done a great job to get past one defender, trying to lunge for a bump on the second as well. And Jaya is just going to buy his time and let a ball come across to his own defense, where it's a little bit more comfortable to deal with. And a whiff on the back lines of this orange team, a double commit as well. Zedo certainly flung it in the direction of Sai, but almost fortuitously, certainly something that wasn't planned for this orange roster.
For sure, I thought they just own goaled it by the double commit. It looked very scary. It looked like a pass into it, the middle for their own teammates to just force it through, but luckily it just went over. But now they're on the offense. Zedo can't do much more than putting it on the backboard, as the ball now slowly but surely tries to make a transition. Can't really get it by serve now. Keeps it in the middle. Scream now. Looking for the backboard. Can't really find it off to the side. Zedo now with the boost and the ball tries to force it through. Serve was just in the way. Side now. His turn to play around. Flipped reset. Can't get it by Charm. The defense is staying strong as the ball now still in the blue half. The pressure is on by Recken Rockets. That's open for Sai. It's a second one under his name, and it's just it's no words to describe it. Where is the defense?
Well, unfortunately, it's folded its cards already, because I believe it was one of those blue players lurking upfield just in case the defense could get the job done. And unfortunately, that lapse in that third man rotation back had presented that opening space. Jay now in central to a teammate. Charm, you were so close to missing that one again. I'm going to have words with you. I remember what happened last time when you blasted it into the 30% chance in the net, but he's got the job done, and I'm very much here for it.
Oh my days, that is just a beautiful shot on target. One more and it's all equalized. The kickoff in favor of serve, sorry, but instantly transitioned into the middle now. No one is there to follow it off. Serve off to the side, looking to get it by Scream. He does do so. Charm is in the middle. Is that in? No, beautiful save by Sai. Just takes it cool and calm and collected. But nearly on the transition, they do find another goal under their name. Sai now into the middle. Is anyone there? Yes, Scream is there, dragging his team, kicking and screaming with their third goal.
Man, it's a great infield pass as well towards Scream, and he had the advantage over that 50 or that dunk or whatever that combination of touches was there, but the defender certainly didn't have enough of a grasp to get that one away, and fair play to Recken Rockets for working that one in their favour. Serve trying to catch a flip reset is going to let this one settle back in the corner as Sai working forwards with a pinch over across. Two players committed. An infield pass is going to spawn a lot of space for this blue side, but it's wastefully thrown away. No possession sustained long term there, but Charm has done well to reclaim that possession. And Serve trying to, well, do something, get a dunk, get a touch, get anything he can, but this orange team is straight back to haunt them.
The ball now looking very dangerous in the orange corner. Scream does get a pinch, but Jair just forces it through back into offense. At the ball now looking to escape. That's a beautiful transition, nearly on target. Scream could have just put it in yet again, but no, could not finish the job as the ball again in the hands of both sides. But that was a double commit, leaves things open. But hey, so far so good for Recken Rockets. They're just trying to, crack the code on this defense.
Ooh. And Scream has very much done that at the moment. Now he's just trying to, well, crack through the safe, perhaps. And he almost worked his way to a 4th goal. Scream now, once again, dinking it towards that top left-hand corner. Is going to be followed up nicely by Sai. And a wonderful fake from Jaya has given him some open space. An infield pass towards Serve. Off to the backboard now. But a touch missed out on the back lines. And unfortunately, that player in the offense certainly wasn't expecting that to come through.
Another shot by Scream, a bit too wide this time around, but the ball is going back and forth. Nothing much said or done. Sai nearly just shuts me up again. Nearly got his hat trick, but now 30 seconds remain of this game. Sanctuary DC has a lot to learn from this game if they want to at least have a shot at that prize pool yet again. Zero playing time charm, no boost to work with, nearly just gets the donk. Scream now looking for a teammate to pass it to. Maybe takes it himself. No, onto the backboard. Zero is there. Beautiful save by Yair coming away from the heavens. But the clock is ticking and the game looks to be settled. The ball is still alive. Sai keeps it up. Jair looking to pass it into the middle. Can't really do so. Scream does it himself. Sai can't get a touch. The Recken Rockets grabs game number 3 and moves over to match point of this grand finals.
Yeah, and in demanding fashion as well. Reckon Rockets are back and back quickly as well. And it's an exact replication of what we saw in that semi-finals almost between Nidaros and this Reckon Rockets roster, where in that first game, they didn't look sharp moving forwards. They've done everything right and more. They've actually forced themselves into a very strong position in this series at large. And Sanctuary DC, if I look at this particular game, it was a little bit more desperate. It was a little bit more clumsy when it came to sustaining that offense, when it came to, you know, just trying to keep that defense in a hold, making sure that they were solid. There was a little bit more agitation, and we saw that come through, especially in moments such as where there was that open net left after a ball spilled infield from the corner, just because they didn't want to be rotating back. They didn't want to be stuck on defense. They wanted to go forward in the other end.
Well, it's looking dangerous for Sanctuary DC. Reckon Rockets are looking for their 2nd win here in the Doink tournament. Or what Doink Weekly is originally called. But like, let's mix up the names a bit. Make, you know, it's a bit fun to do that, isn't it, Psycho? Hopefully Azamil and Disenocht is not, you know, mad at me for that. But hey, might be the final game. Who knows? Sanctuary DC has a lot to prove in this crucial game.
Absolutely, they do. As one game is what separates this Reckon Rosters, that's a nice one. Reckon Rockets roster from 150 euros and a touch in field. Oh, Jaya almost poking it into his own net. That would have been an awful way to kick forwards potentially their final game in this series. But Serve now has transitioned across 3/4 of the field and almost got a 50-50 on that lurking defender on the wall. And Jaya trying to throw something over to the other end. Charm not willing to bite for that one. Serve has to fill in a double touch. It's going to be the name of the game. An infield pass blocked away by Sai.
Another pass into the midfield by Serve, just not giving up an inch of possession there. But now, on the transition, it is a Reckon Rockets. They're looking to force one through. Can't really get it by the defense side now. One touch, but can't do much other than that. Scream off to the side, looking for a demo. Can't get one. Zero now sends it up high, but Jair now into the middle. Service there. Sai can't get a better touch than that. It's a bit too high nonetheless, but they get the clear. The ball is still in their half. Finally gets it cleared. And oh boy, that was a close call for Reckon Rockets.
Absolutely, and if there was even a tiny bit more boost in the tank for this blue roster, they could have got something sorted. Serve off to the backboard, and well, Sai's done so well to scale that backboard quickly. Charm's going to have to do the same thing. A wonderful touch. It might be on target. It might find the back of the net. And a word that you've used before and thought might happen in this grand finals was pretty close to happening there, Vino.
Yeah, really close to happening. But again, it's just the defense is being so strong. They have to like start experimenting. Scream, as we see, was just putting up a campfire, but then sort of that the boost already spawned. Did its job and, you know, walked off with a full tank. Very happy, very happy. but might not be so happy as it is still equalized in the game.
Yeah, and a touchdown to Scream, and a beautiful finish as well towards that top right-hand corner. A gorgeous lateral play from Scream, touching it down to Zedo, a little bit fortuitous off Jaya's top car. Beautiful stuff to get Recken Rockets in a position to take this grand final.
Okay, what is that timing? The caster's curse just hits dead on, not even a few seconds after, literally moments as I speak. Whoa, what a save by Scream, pinching it with the crossbar. Might have befriended it for now, but hey, the ball looking in the hands of Sanctuary DC. Chomp can't really do much here. Zedo looking for a double touch off the ceiling, can't do so. Jayer gets the save, sign over the ball into the middle. Scream is there with another shot, saved by Jayer, and no one on the transition, no one to follow it up. But it is still the possession for Recken Rockets, but Charm is there to equalize the game of Serve's beautiful pass.
Yeah, and Scream off to the ceiling, so desperately wanted to follow his own touch, but he had handed a gift over to the opposition, and the ball drops down fiercely towards that back net, not something Recken Rockets had covered. And Sanctuary, well, they have a reason, they have an urgency now after that first goal, and they're going to be looking to plan their second one quickly so, as Sai catches a reset and darts past one. That's a wide open net and a demo from Zedo. That is all she wrote.
The script is there, the demo goes through, it is wide open for Sai, 2-1 for Recken Rockets. They're now just in the lead, and remember, it is a crucial game, a match point for Recken Rockets. It's do or die for Sanctuary DC, they can't afford to make any mistakes. That was just generally just a good play by Recken Rockets. It's now time to see how they respond.
It's going to be a difficult task at that to make that response, as when we've seen this blue side down and out, it's been so difficult to make anything of a recovery. Jay now infield towards but a wide open net. Two defenders caught sleeping. The infield pass was completely neglected. They simply thought it was an impossibility, and Serve has just threaded the needle central of that net.
That was just perfectly placed by Serve in between two defenders whilst they were driving, forwards. They could have gotten the save. One, pixel. A few pixels to the left, it could have been saved. A few pixels to the right, again, saved. He just put it straight through, and it is all equalized with 1 minute and 10 seconds left on the clock. Charm with the possession, gets it over one. That's into the middle. A double demo coming out from Scream, leaves the net open for a few moments. Where is the follow-up? No one is there. The ball just hanging in front of the net, but no one is there to respond. Jayer looking to punish them. Charm with another touch. A ball as well. Serve finishes it off, but all to the credit of Charm.
And it might be the case that Recken Rockets has inspired the thought process of this Sanctuary roster, who get a bump on the back lines in exactly the same fashion as Recken Rockets once did to their opposition. And now Sanctuary are the team that finds themselves in front in this grand finals, and the pace of the series well and truly turns. Sanctuary DC, they're going to be thinking of ways to hold out this advantage they've taken. They might just be doing that with offense of their own. Jaya catching a flip reset off to the backboard, but unfortunately for him, no player to directly follow up that opportunity. And Serve off to the corner. What can he forge out of nothing? Not quite anything on that occasion. And Zedo wrapping it back around infield. Scream, he looks so dangerous from this position. And you know what? There is a reason that I'm scared. There is a reason that the offense, or rather the defense of the Sanctuary DC roster, was as scared as I was. Because when Scream has that space, when Scream has 100 boost in the tank, he screams one in the back of the net.
Now that is that's one way to tie things up, but that is dangerous in front of net, and it is there for Zedo to finish it off. 13 seconds left on the clock when it looked to be a win for Sanctuary DC. The game has turned on its head.
And right now, I am seeing silence from the chat at the moment. I am seeing heartbreak, and I'm sure that this team in blue are feeling it equally so. But Recken Rockets, almost at the brink of death when they were 3-2 down towards the tail end of this match, have pulled it way back in their favour. It's something we've seen them do so many times today. They've come back from their struggles and they've just hit back that little bit harder.
Reckon Rockets, the team that won previously here in Doink Weeklies as well. I believe it was week 3 or week 4. I am unsure. Wikipedia pages are there for a reason. But anyways, they get their second win in this weekly. Congratulations to Reckon Rockets for winning the 5th one around here. 150 euros to their pockets, and what a comeback in a crucial game. When we won, I had hope for Sanctuary DC. I wanted to see a game 5, but oh boy, I mean, I can't be happy with that ending. What a beautiful ending it is.
It was a fantastic ending as well, and especially from the spectator point of view, I really thought that Sanctuary, I was sort of waiting for an overtime potentially. I was waiting for that next game forwards in the series. But unfortunately for us, Recken Rockets, they just annihilated the competition at the end there in Sanctuary and forged those last-second opportunities, which meant so much to them. And it seems that whenever they are in front of danger, when they are in front of uncomfortability, they find a way to get back into the equation. And they did that on a number of times today. We saw it from them in the semi-finals as well, where our coverage began today against Nidaros Esports. And you know what? We have to also say, well, commiserations to our semi-finalists as well, in Ascent and Nidaros, who very much gave us some good performances today. We weren't able to catch Ascent's run today, but you know what? I'm going to throw it back to Sanctuary. Even though Recken Rockets ultimately are the winners, they took every single last penny from this competition in that 150 euros. Sanctuary DC, this is a roster that I don't believe either of us have seen before in full, and it's supposed to be the inverted commas B team of the Sanctuary roster, who pitched 2 rosters forwards today. They did such a stellar job to put themselves in the position they did today, and also to cement themselves in the heads and the minds of fans and players alike.
Well, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. We over at Doink.gg would like to thank you all for tuning in and watching an incredible amount of games of Rocket League tonight. Congratulations once again to Recken Rockets. And of course, thank you to Core Television for hosting the weeklies. It's been myself, Vino, Psycho, of course, Potter being the producer in the background. Without him, we would not be seeing these cool graphics on your screens. But that has been it from tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We all wish you a good night.
Gravity, take me up, as beautiful as it's been. It's time for me to go. I wanna say